Greetings, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation. Why people in this nation, and I'm not pointing to any coin represented here because this nation does not have a bullion coin. But why are they loading up on gold? And why should you? Let's explore. Indeed, inflation is the threat of the moment, and in reality, it's a threat that's been around for quite some time. We're always experiencing inflation. In fact, most everyone alive today does not know anything else but inflation. In fact, by design, the Federal Reserve targets inflation at 2% per year. Of course, that is out the window as of in between this year because it's well over 5% now. But there's one nation that is very much wary of inflation and has seen it in the past. And this is why this nation is moving more towards gold and loading up in record numbers since 2009. We're chronicling this from Bloomberg. Many gold investors might be fretting over the prospect of the Federal Reserve curbing monetary stimulus. But here in the United States, it may not necessarily be a call to action to get gold, although I think it would be a good idea for people to buy gold as a way to protect themselves against not only inflation but economic instability in general. Germans are loading up. That's right. Demand for physical bullion in Germany, traditionally the biggest coin and bar buyer in Europe, was the highest since at least 2009 in the first half, World Gold Council data show. While purchases in other Western markets have also been strong, Germans in particular are pouring into the metal as a hedge against rising inflation. And dealers in Germany are saying business is good. In fact, there is a chart that shows the amount of gold that's been purchased by Germans investors, or hedgers, really, coin and bar demand, at levels we've not seen since, right around 2011, 2012, according to this bar chart I'm looking at here. And it's spiking up big time, especially at the end of 2020 and 2021. They're concerned there in Germany. And Germany is an important nation because essentially that is the hub for the euro. Essentially, that's the issuing mint. Dresden Mint kind of there is where all the coins are made. And it's sort of the ground zero for the currency, for the euro. We have a long history of inflation fear in our DNA, and now the inflation risk is picking up, said Raphael Scherer, managing director at metals dealer Filoro Edelmelte GmbH, whose gold sales were up 25% on what was already a strong 2020. The outlook for precious metals is very positive, he says. Germany's love for gold has its origins in the hyperinflation seen under the Weimar Republic a century ago, which saw consumers' buying power collapse before their very eyes. Hyperinflation. Last month, the reopening of the economy helped German inflation jump to its highest in more than a decade. Negative interest rates in Europe are also making non-yielding assets like gold more attractive, Scherer said. And because it's more attractive, people are flocking there. In fact, you may remember I posted a story about long lines at the Gossa, bullion dealer there, people lining up to buy gold. Kind of like buying concert tickets. It's crazy. It was a very popular video. Well, they're more likely, more of those photos will probably be shown and circulating around the internet soon. First half demand for bar and coins in Germany increased by 35% from the previous 6 months, compared with 20% in the rest of the world, according to the World Gold Council. It is fascinating. This metal, and what's intriguing is that Germany, given the popularity of gold, when already a strong demand, we've seen it here because they are inflation wary. I think it'd be nice if they had their own bullion coin. but they don't. There's bars and there's dealers out there, and there's places like Edelmonte, which is German. We know Geiger, German company too, for bars, but premium bars that is, but nothing for coins. And still, gold prices have fallen almost 7% since early June as the market braces for the Fed to curb its massive stimulus measures that helped send the metal to a record high in 2020. Traders will closely watch the central bank's gathering Jackson Hole this week for clues on the timing of the tapering. And my guess is they're not going to do anything, especially with recent news out of Afghanistan of a terrorist attack. And more than likely, the Fed is not going to do any tapering. I can almost bet my bottom dollar that that's not going to happen. There's a lot of uncertainty in the world right now, and that kind of geopolitical action could have reverberating effects around the world, in the markets, and especially with how the United States is seen on the world stage. And you know what that means. That translates to its money, the dollar. The dollar very well could weaken, and it's going to send gold higher. And, of course, it's going to mean that who knows how the Fed is going to react to that. But more than likely, they're not going to taper anytime soon. They want to provide as much liquidity as they can to our allies and to us here. And what else do they have? But nonetheless, we'll see how it plays out. Expectations for a rate hike by the European Central Bank in the coming years remains muted. That may support demand for gold in Germany, even if global prices ease. Gold has always played a certain role among German investors, says Alexander Zumpfe, senior trader at refiners at Salivate Metals, Germany. With the increased buying interest in recent years, however, it has become even more present. And so there you have it. That is where we are at. And with all that's going on in the world, and with the inflation continuing to rear its ugly head, it's not going away anytime soon. And I think even as we do get numbers that may show it's slowing, again, these are year-over-year numbers, and we're going to start to probably see some numbers move in the other direction, but I think they will quickly move back into a period of higher prices and increased prices as the months go on to the end of the year and the next quarter. October, I think, will be key for some of those metrics, but nonetheless, inflation is here, and it's not going away anytime soon. So therefore, that's going to be a threat to the dollar, which means that it's probably incumbent upon us to hold a little bit of gold ourselves. And buying gold is certainly something that it's not easy to do, to buy a full ounce of this metal by any stretch. It's tough to do. Even if it were at spot price, for some people, it's just out of their territory. But you can buy fractional gold as well. And there are ways to be able to find fractional gold at a less expensive price. And I think if you can buy silver, yeah, it's probably good to buy gold as well. It does take a bit more patience, even for the smaller sizes. You don't want to pay an incredible premium on gold, but typically when you buy gold, even at fractional sizes, you're paying less of a premium than you are with silver. And I encourage people to buy silver as well. There are deals to be had out there. Premiums are starting to normalize a bit, not necessarily fall to points where I think they should be, or where many of us have seen them in the recent years, since before the pandemic, but nonetheless, premiums are becoming more attractive, I think, and there are ways to be able to buy gold. It just takes a little bit of patience, but becoming your own central bank is a powerful thing, and buying gold is the way to do it, because it is a tier 1 asset treasured by central banks around the world, and certainly by investors around the world too. It is as is the case with this video, with German investors. And when I say investors, I'm meaning those who are investing in the protection of their wealth. And that's a difference than as a strategy to make money off of gold. Because like silver, you can't make money off of gold. It's not there to make you rich. It's there to preserve your wealth. And so therefore, people are flocking to it because they understand. Germany has a history of it, as we've seen. We've not seen that as much here in the United States. But mark my words, it could happen here if we go on the path we are, especially with recent events in the news. People may lose faith in the United States. We're at a very low point here, given the actions of our current president and administration. Therefore, the best way is to protect ourselves with sound money that transcends politics. It transcends administrations, politics, all of it. Holding gold to preserve your wealth. So there you have it. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.